Welcome in, Aaron and Mr. G and Tasanaki. Hi. How do I was just thinking I should say hi in like as many languages as I can think of. Hello. Bonjour. Ni hao. Konnichiwa. 안녕하세요. What else do we have? It's like hello, like German. Hello, or like most of Europe. How do you say? I feel like I should know more. But hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. 안녕하세요. Hello. How are you doing today, guys? What a day, what a day. I don't have any plans for today. I don't have any plans for today, but I was thinking if we're gonna play anything, it might be Planet Zoo, just to stay on brand for the charity. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a wee bit off today. I'm not gonna lie, feeling a bit off. So we can just hang out and chat. And oh, actually, one thing I do need to tell you guys is I got more packages today. As you can, I'll see if I can make you hear it. Package. Hi, Anton. I did have to open one. And the funny thing is, I had to open one because one of the, what are we doing today? I'm not too sure. Today is just gonna be a bit of a chit chat. Might watch videos. We might game. I'm just not feeling the greatest today, so I'm not entirely sure. But no, I had to open one because from my throne, so these are like the throne gifts that we're gonna open on Christmas, but I did have to open a box because I ordered, like, someone gifted me money to buy throne gifts, and of that money I bought stuff for my fish that wasn't really gonna be a gift for Christmas. I wanted to open it sooner because it was specifically for my fish. It was an air bubbler, aerator to put more oxygen into the tank. So I kind of wanted to find that. So I ended up opening one of the boxes because I thought it was the box, and the box actually had more than, because it was like from Amazon, so they had put a bunch of stuff in the box, so it had more than just the aerator in it. So I did see some stuff, but the funny thing is that one of the things I saw in the box I thought was in one of my other packages, so now I don't know what's in that package. Which is kind of funny, because you can kind of guess by how things look and stuff, and I thought that yeah, so now I really don't know what we have, and I'm really excited. I was like scribbling out my name and address on all the boxes though today, so just to make sure I'm ready for Christmas. Speaking of games, did you make progress in Puppy Playtime 3 after Mrs. Light's fight? No, I haven't played since. No. Yeah, no, I haven't played since. I plan on making a schedule for our final stream of the year, so that, because there's a bunch of games that we haven't had a chance to play on stream that I really wanted to, and you know, it's kind of like a better late than never situation. So I'm gonna make sure we have plenty of time that day to do as many games as we can. So that should be really fun. I know that on the list we have Silent Hill F, we have Monster Hunter, although I do plan on playing Monster Hunter before the end of the year, and we have as well What other one did we have? I know there's like a few games. I need to go through my Steam, but I also don't have a lot of space on my computer, so it's a bit much of a muchness, really. I'll be here for Poppy Playtime. Yeah, I'll make sure to play it. At the end of the, I'll post a schedule to Discord and YouTube, so of like the rundown of the day. So, and I'll try and add like as many time zones as I can, so that you can convert it to your time zone, to know when to show up and stuff. Oh, I also wanted to let you guys know, just cause full transparency, I've been keeping you guys semi updated on my YouTube on my YouTube what would you call it? My YouTube monetization. And I haven't been paid from YouTube since I started streaming, right? And it's been making me really anxious because a lot of you guys do super chats or gifted memberships, and I haven't been paid for any of that yet. And it was stressing me out, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting really nervous that I was getting nervous for you guys, because I always feel bad when people give me money and there's like a middleman, you know? But good news, my AdSense, YouTube AdSense, like finally updated. So I think I'll finally get paid at the end of the month. Finally. Which makes me feel so at ease. So that'll be, that's a relief. That is a relief. You're halfway done with it also, so there's no need to split it again. Yeah, that's true. I mostly just split it because it just gives me a lot of anxiety, and it's hard to just play when feeling that anxiety. Getting paid, yeah, oh hell no, they better not be ripping people off. Oh, that's what I was worried about. I'm not gonna lie, and I mentioned it here and there, but I didn't want to like scare anyone that their money was just like going into the void. But yeah, I haven't been paid from YouTube yet, so I was like getting a little stressed about it, but I checked and everything's updated, and to me it looks accurate. I've done the cross checks and everything looks pretty good to me. I mean, of course YouTube does take a cut. They take 30%, so it's not going to be exact, of course, but from what I can tell, everything looks good. So I'm really excited. So I think I should get paid at the end of the month, hopefully. I think it's at the end of the month, I think is how they work. I mean, I've never been paid from them before, so I don't actually know how it works, but I'm pretty sure at the end, the 26th maybe. It's hard to tell. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know, because I know I've been mentioning it here and there, and you guys deserve to know, especially the ones who do donate. You know, it's important. But yeah, I'm really excited. So that money will probably just go straight to savings, or to my rebrand, if I'm completely honest with you guys. It probably actually will go to bills, maybe a little bit to bills, because I have been working really hard to find a job. I really have. I've been applying everywhere, but I haven't had any luck, and it's been very disheartening. I didn't realize it was gonna take so long. I mean, I kind of knew, but I'm at that point where I am out of like, what's the word? Like, I'm at that point where I have kind of run out of like play money, if that makes sense. Like, when I first left my job, I had like a good backlog of money that I could touch. I do have money, but that's like no touch money. I can't touch that money. So I've run out of money that I can use, and at the moment I'm just living week by week trying to get by. It's been very stressful, and I've been working really hard to get a job, and I have been trying to no success. So hopefully soon I will update you guys on when and if that happens. I'm hoping it does, because gosh, it's like, I have enjoyed not working, I'm not gonna lie, but it's good to keep busy, I think, and I don't see the harm in I know a lot of people nowadays are like, oh, I don't want to work a 9 to 5, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I agree that like a 9 to 5, 5 days a week is a bit rough. I think there could be a better way to like manage people's work-life balance to where people are more happy to work a job, but after having so much time off, like working a job here and there ain't bad. Like gets you at the house, you know. What kind of stuff do you typically watch, by the way? Well, sorry, I'm getting the hiccups. We tend to watch short films from time to time. I love to watch short films and talk about short films, and we'll watch like scary videos, because I also love to debunk scary videos. Those are really fun to do too. Or you know, just like we'll watch recommendations from chat. But personally for me, it's hard because the stuff that I like to watch on my own, I don't think people here would like to watch. So I try and choose stuff that's still in my interest but universal. It's not so specific to me. But yeah. Also, is the music okay? I can turn it up a little bit. I just wasn't sure. Also, again, thank you so much for the 310 Great British Pounds. I'm so happy how far we've come for the charity. It's been really amazing. Do you know Emesis Blue? No. Let me Google it real quick. Oh. Is it like... It's like based on that game or something, right? Good to be busy, but dude, yeah, exactly. No, I agree. At the moment, something that's been helping me stay busy, because I have been feeling really cooped up at home, is I have been helping my grandma. So I go visit my grandma every Wednesday, and I do housework for her. So well, housework, outdoor work, anything she needs. So I think last week I well, the week before last, I cleaned her bathroom like top to bottom, spotless, top to bottom. Gave it a good scrub. I cleaned, I washed her dogs, and then I gave the kitchen a general clean, and then this week that just went past, I gave the bathroom a bit of a spruce. I helped her cook these, like, well, I didn't cook them. They were like these random recipe she found online, and it was like biscuit, condensed milk, almonds, and she added cocoa powder and mint, and you just blitz all those up so they're like a fine powder, mix it with condensed milk, and then you make it into like a log, roll it in coconut, put it in the fridge, and then when it's like set in the fridge you can slice it, and they were actually so fucking yum. So I helped her make those, and then we like I completely cleaned the kitchen, we washed the windows, washed the curtains, we went through her drawers, and I was like cleaning her drawers, and we were like getting rid of like a bunch of stuff, and just helping her kind of like get her house in order, because I think she has like a lot of stuff that she doesn't realize she has, so we're just helping clear space so she has not so much to deal with, I guess. It's a film based on the game. Yeah, Team Fortress 2, that's right. Have you played Tomb of the Mask? No, I haven't. Let me look that up. It's a horror like feature-length film. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It says it was made in 2023. Tomb of the Mask. Oh, interesting. No, I haven't played this. Looks cool though. Does look very cute, Pac-Man-esque. But yeah, no, so like some things that I have started trying to do more as well is just do more stuff outside. I've been trying to do more gardening and trying to focus on my hobbies again, because I kind of got stuck in this routine of like wake up, sit at my desk all day, and then stream, then go to sleep, and then wake up and sit at my desk all day and stream and then go to sleep. And that's partly as well why sometimes I say to you guys that I can't stream, because even though technically I could, because I've been home all day, there's nothing stopping me, but it's like I made the wrong decisions throughout the day in regards to like being on my computer all day. To one, I'm just incredibly sore and I don't want to sit at my computer any longer, or two, I felt like I wasted my day and I wanted to be productive in a different sense, because to me streaming is productive, but I wanted this to be more like being productive in a way that benefits me, like focusing on a hobby or anything like that. So I know that you should play Tomb of the Mask. I don't own it, but I can look into it. But yeah, some of the things I've been trying to focus on is, one, my writing. I want to get back into reading again, because I haven't done any reading in a long time. I started slacking real bad on my language learning, so I'm gonna get back into language learning. I want to start painting again. I just have a lot of hobbies. I have too many hobbies. Too many hobbies for my own good. I don't have too many hobbies and not enough time, it feels like. And a lot of the time I want to do like every hobby in one day and I can't. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to do, but, and I want to get like, I want to try get into like clothes making, like altering clothes, or I see a lot of people will like thrift clothes and then like mix them together and it looks really cool, and I really want to try that. Like find like different hoodies and then you just like combine the pieces together to make your own unique style hoodie. Like that stuff's just so cool. I really want to give it a go, but I just you know, I think as well I get too ambitious and then I overwhelm myself, and then I'm like, oh no, I won't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. No, it's I just can't, even though I probably could. But I just get like overwhelmed by all the ideas I have running through my head sometimes. It's like, whoa, you need to chill out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say before we like, I guess, watch anything. There's nothing really popping into my head. I did want to talk about, sorry, I was just drinking my coffee. I did want to talk about, I saw a clip on Twitter. It was, do you guys know, I think she's a YouTuber, streamer, I think she's a Twitch streamer. Her name is, what's her name? I don't even remember now. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter, hold on. Did I like it? Oh, here we go. Frogan. Do you guys know Frogan? Because there was a post, someone posted a clip from her Twitch, and I wanted to talk about it because this type of stuff like has always bothered me, and if I have ever been like this, like, you guys can slap me. You guys can slap me if I've ever been like this, because I try my best not to be like this. But she has a clip going around where she's like kind of complaining that she's not getting subs and she's not getting money, and like, so her goal is to get 2,000 subs, and she only has 189, and it's like the middle of the month, right? So she's like she's being like, you know, guys, like, we gotta hit the goal, like, what are you doing? Kind of like begging. And then one of her friends like is in a call, and they're like, how about you just like like just move back home, like where rent's cheaper, like you can't be going onto stream, like you can't be going onto stream begging for money for people to pay your rent. And she's like, oh well, then you pay my rent, then you pay my rent. And then she just starts breaking down crying on stream, and she even says to him, like, she's like, oh well, she's like, I'm not gonna be like you and live with my brother like you do, like at least, you know, at least I have a house, or I don't know, something weird like that. And then she starts like breaking down crying, and like over the fact that like she's not getting subs, and she's like basically begging for money. Like he was just saying like, you need to start doing, like, need to look into doing something else because this isn't working anymore. And it was just like I just don't know how people can get to that point, you know, or even think to do that. I just think it's so gross. And like a lot of the comments were like, just get a job, like get a job, do something else to earn money. I mean, even do like a different business venture. Like if you have a following and you're not earning money on streaming, like try and venture out and try something else, you know. If you have people that will follow you. But yeah, it was just weird. And then someone made a really good comment. She needs to get a job and work. Yeah, literally, it's like, and because like, yeah, I don't know, I could never be like that. Like I will admit, I like sometimes vent to you guys about my financial struggles, because sometimes, you know, you guys are my buds. You know, like, and I like to be honest, and especially if it's something that's wearing me down, like I just like to get it off my chest, and I don't ever mean anything by it. When I like say that stuff, it's just, I just consider you guys like my friends, so I would tell you guys stuff that I would probably tell my friends, you know, and just be like, you know, like I'm going through a rough time, you know, like I was literally just saying before, like I'm at the moment, I'm basically living week to week, like just like, you know, getting by. So like so it's like it's not that I don't like talk about any financial issues I'm having, but to like cry on stream about not getting money from your viewers and then like begging people to pay your rent, and it's, I don't know, it's like, yeah, it's like at that point, seriously, just get a job. Like surely like you could still make time to stream and get a job. Like lots of people do it, lots of people have full-time jobs and stream. It's doable. And then someone made a good point in the comments, and they were just saying that a lot of these streamers, a lot of these young streamers get themselves into sticky situations because their streams die out, they don't get the money anymore, and they also don't have any education or work experience IRL, so they've gone years, you know, streaming thinking it was gonna work for them, then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it just doesn't. But now they have nothing to fall back onto when they go back to the real world. And that's the tricky thing, right, about streaming, because here, I'll like put it up so it's like not me, just like so you can see her cry. Well, not to be a meanie, but I'll like, oh, you can't even see her, she's like right behind my head. How do I, here we go, I'll do this. Yeah, no, I saw some people say, yeah, like about, yeah, like not having real life experience and all this stuff, and that is unfortunate, for those people. But then in her case as well, a lot of people were making comments of this, and I agree because I have had to do this before. But like, she's complaining about, and here, it's such a tricky thing to talk about, right? Because everybody deserves to treat themselves, pamper themselves, do something nice for themselves, spend their money on themselves, you know, whatever it may be. But a lot of people were making comment of like, oh, you can't pay rent, but your nails are probably worth $200, which is true. Acrylics are expensive, and it's like, and most people get their nails done like every 2 to 3 weeks. So let's just say she's getting them done every 3 weeks. That's like almost once a month. That's $200 a month. that you're spending on your nails. Like, and a lot of people were saying, you know, like her nails are probably worth more than my week's worth of groceries. Like, if you were really that strapped for cash and rent, you wouldn't be getting your nails done. That's why I stopped getting my lashes done. I used to get my lashes done, and I used to get my brows done. I don't do that stuff anymore because I can't afford it. So it's like, you just have to take those sacrifices sometimes in order to just get by. Like, you need to kind of get your priorities straight, right? So people were like kind of commenting on the fact that but like I said, like, everyone deserves to be pampered and whatnot, but I'm sure, you know, yes, she pampers herself with the nails, but I can guarantee she also buys a lot of other stuff for herself. She probably buys herself lots of yummy food. She probably buys herself nice clothes. Like, she definitely, I don't think she'd be one to not pamper herself, so she could probably go without something, you know, in order to pay for rent. You know, like, you can make ends meet. And that's where I think a lot of streamers get in trouble as well, is they get so used to this, like, quote unquote rich lifestyle that they end up living, that when things do get hard, they don't know how to shift out of that rich quote unquote mindset, and they keep living this like rich lifestyle that they can no longer afford, instead of just like realizing like what's going, you know, using their money appropriately. I don't know, I guess it comes with learning in life, right? You live and you learn, but I don't know. I saw it on Twitter and I was just like, God, I was like, really? Like, another streamer begging for money? Like, at this rate, everybody's done it. At this rate, everybody's had a moment where they've begged for money. It's crazy. It's crazy. And that's the thing as well when it comes to streaming too, is that it's very hit or miss. You need to get kicked hard in life to feel the value of money. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, because it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's so hard, because, yeah, I'm a lot better with my money now than I used to be, and that's I think, yeah, it definitely comes with, like, because when I first started earning money, when I was, like, a teenager, I spent a lot of money, and now I do my best to save as much as I can, and I only spend if I need to. I try not to spend too willy-nilly, and, you know, yeah, you just have to take those sacrifices sometimes when life gets a little tough, you know. So I was gonna say something though and I forgot. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't remember now. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I don't know. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about it because I was just a little, oh, that's what I was gonna say. No, that's the other thing with streaming, is that some people just have those communities where they are happy to donate and give their streamer a lot of money, and then there are some communities where that's just not who they are, right? Or that's just not, they aren't the type of people that can afford to do that stuff. So you get people who are quote unquote fortunate in the sense of having a community that might give them like 100 subs every stream, so they get used to that income. Whereas like some communities, maybe they get like 10 subs a month, you know. So and it could be the same amount of viewership too. That is the thing, like you both could be getting the same amount of viewership, but one person will be earning more just based on the viewership that they have, the people that watch them. Some people can just afford that stuff, but then the issue is that 1 month where your top donators decide like, hey, we can't afford it this month. Now you are also out of money because your money is reliant on someone else's income, which I've always thought was so strange. I think being a full-time streamer is such a scary thing to do because it's so up and down and uncertain, and I think your money should always be a certainty, right? You should always know what you're gonna have at the end of the month. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It really is just weird. Streaming, what a concept. I think if companies offered people like hourly rates, a lot more people would be full-time streamers. But I see some people who are full-time streamers that aren't even earning money, and then I'm like, how are you a full-time streamer? I was like, how are you supporting yourself? That's crazy. How are you gonna get yourself some food? Get yourself water? You know? You gotta make sure you got money for you so you can buy yummy food. Food is the essence of life. Everybody loves a good meal. Alrighty. Let me get rid of that though. Oh, it was a ramble and a half. I respect people who hustle, and I know you've been hustling and doing your best. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have been trying. Here, let me see. I recently applied to, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I applied for a couple jobs yesterday. I applied for a couple jobs yesterday, and I put some like expression of interests in around, so I have been putting stuff in. I have. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking through my emails real quick. Yeah, I have been applying. I have. And just trying to, yeah, just trying to do what I can. I'm really excited to get my book going though. The way I would ever be a full-time streamer is if I were in a quesos level, like with hundreds of people watching and sending, yeah, no, for sure. Like, I've said this before, and when I said this, because some people will be like, I kid you not, some people will be like, oh, I can be a full-time streamer only earning $1,000 a month. What? Maybe if you're living at home and you're not paying bills, you know, sure, $1,000 a month. But I've always said if I was ever going to be a full-time streamer, I would on a minimum have to be earning $5,000 a month. A minimum $5,000 a month to be a full-time streamer. My rent used to be like like close to $1,500 a month. So if you take that into consideration, that's well, how I would work it is, yeah, minimum I'd have to earn $5,000. Where I used to live was about $1,500 rent, so let's say it was $1,500. Now I'm left with $3,500. I would have to put some away for taxes, so based on earning $5,000, I would have to put $500 away, because I kind of I've done taxes on Twitch before, and I get taxed 100 per 1,000, so I would put away 500 for my taxes. And that's not like a guarantee, that's just an estimate, but at least you're putting money aside. I'd probably put 500 away for 500 away for taxes. I'd honestly probably put away, well, I used to pay my bills weekly, sorry, so that when I got my bills every quarter, it was either paid or I only owed like 20 bucks. So I think I used to do like $100 a week for bills, so that's $400 a month. So that brings us to 2,600. Then if we're thinking of like let's say if we're thinking of groceries, let's say, I mean, the Australian dollar is pretty shit, so realistically I'd probably say like $100 a week, so another $400. like minimum for groceries, so that's 2,100. And then let's see, and then I'd probably spend, oh, let's say I put like 100 away for petrol, so we're at $2,000. And then what else would I pay for? I'd probably put at minimum 500 away for savings, so that would give me 1,500 left. Then I would probably have to pay for, I'm trying to think of when I used to live alone, what I used to pay for when I lived alone. I think that's it. I probably would add a bit extra for bills, because it's like you've got your water, electricity, gas, internet, any subscription services you pay for, Netflix, Spotify, YouTube Premium. You want to make sure that you have money as an emergency for the month, and then you also want to make sure that you have money for spending, right? Like, you want to make sure that you have money if you want to go out to dinner, if you want to watch a movie, if you need to buy new shoes, or you know, if your car breaks down, or if your pet gets sick. Like, you want to make sure you have that disposable income, that you're not dipping into your savings. So there's a lot of things that I think people don't take into consideration when they want to become a full-time streamer, and then that's when you end up getting those streamers who are like, oh, emergency donathon to pay my rent, because they didn't budget correctly to like get through the month. So that's why personally, yeah, that's why personally I say like $5,000 a month minimum. I was getting by with like 3,500 a month, but I was just getting by with 3,500 a month. So having like that extra 1,500 gives you that leeway that I definitely needed when I was living by myself. So yeah, it's like, it's just, yeah, you do need those emergency savings. I mean, a good example is like a couple months ago, my dog registration was due. That was like $150, and then I had to renew my license. That was $150, and then I had to do my car registration, and that was I think another like $170, and then I had to do my passport, and that was $500. And that's all happened in like the past like 2 or 3 months. So that's honestly why a lot of my disposable income has vanished since since quitting my job, because it was like the most awkward time to quit my job, because I quit my job and then I needed to pay for everything, and I was like, oh my god. Like, of course everything decides to come out when I don't have a job. So, yeah, it's like, you know, things like that happen all the time. Where, license for what? My car. To drive, my driving license. COWFIE teaching some adult stuff, yeah. But yeah, so it's like, there's a lot of stuff that like comes out, you know, like, that I've had, like, I mean, yeah, like I just said, like this, like the last couple months I had to do my passport, my driver's license, my car registration, my dog registration, and my passport. Did I say my passport? You know, things just come out that and it always happens when you least expect it. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh my god, I paid my bills, I have some extra money, and then you'll get like an email and it'll be like, hey, just letting you know, this is due in 2 days, and it's like, oh my god, no. It's like, I thought I had money, now I don't have money. Because this stupid bill, god damn it. It's the worst. Not nice. Yeah. Life just hits like that inconveniently, yeah. It sometimes feels weird when life goes too yeah. Literally, it's like, it's kind of like, something's not right here. What's about to happen? It literally happened to me last week. I sent my fiance's gift overseas, and I was expecting like to pay some amount of money. $150. $150 it cost me last week. That was literally all the money I had. I was like, for fuck's sake. I was like, you're joking. I was like, I knew I was expecting some amount, but not $150. I'm just thinking, why is it so smooth? There must be something coming soon. Yeah, literally. Exactly. You just never know. It's like, yeah, it's just always such a surprise. I'm trying to think of something. Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of something that like happened, but yeah, no. For me, it's always my car registration, because I used to pay it yearly, but now I just pay it every 3 months. So when that 3 months comes around, I've like forgotten that I need to pay my car registration, and then I get a thing saying, "Hey, you got to pay your car registration," and I'm like, I don't want to. 150, although it could be worse. Yeah, 150. But it was because the box was so big. It was a big gift. And like I said, I was expecting to pay. Well, initially she said 100, and I was like, okay, cool. But then I had to pay for tariffs or something, so it made it 150, and I was like, God. For frick's sake. That's crazy. Not what I was expecting at all. But yeah, I just hope that one day we're all in a stable situation where we can all have enough money to just live happily. Sorry, I was drinking my coffee. I was just checking out my fish. Ever since I added the aerator, they have been so active. It's so cute. It's been really nice, because they usually just don't really move that much, and it has had me a little bit concerned, but they're so playful at the moment. I hope we all get there. Yeah, I do too. I really do. I mean, my dream would be, well, I was watching a video saying, it was just talking about like how much money billionaires truly have, and that there are so many people with so much money that they could really make a difference in the world, and they just don't. And it's so, I just think it's so, I just think it's so, I don't know, greedy. It's so greedy. Like, what do you need with all that money? What are you doing with all that money if not doing something for good? Then I remember that the world in total is probably $1 trillion in debt at this point. Maybe. I don't know. I think just from my perspective, I always donate to charity. I have done for like a few years now. Like, I donate here and there. I donate here and there, and I think I mentioned it on stream, but I bought a bunch of presents for kids for the Salvation Army a couple weeks ago, so that kids who can't have gifts like can get presents. And I plan on like making a shopping trip and donating some food to the food bank. And I'm always donating. I'm always trying to like be charitable the best I can. And so it's like, if someone like me, who barely has enough money to feed herself, has the heart to help others, surely those out there who have more than enough can donate even $100,000, like something that would be a mere speck in the water to them, would be so great to so many people. They use that money to make more money. It's all about that money to get more money. I don't know what they're spending on them. It's probably just sitting in there, collecting interest. Honestly. Or they're just buying ridiculously expensive cars and bags and things that just aren't necessary. But I do have goals for when I am finally like settled in my own home, and how I want to live and how I want to teach my kids to live. Because I hope that when I am grown, I'm already grown, but you know, I hope that when I'm settled down with children, that I can teach them the importance of being kind and looking out for other people, and to not be selfish. I think is like the main thing I want to give to them. And then also like to not be, I really hope I don't want to raise an iPad kid. I already know, like, I do not want to raise an iPad kid. I want to raise a kid who loves being outdoors and playing in the grass and being silly and making little like potions out of mud and flowers, and you know what I mean, like just being children and having a good time. I think that that just sounds so sweet. And then also, like, I don't know, also the importance of what it means to receive a thoughtful gift. That's a great goal to have, COWFIE, especially since everyone's been kind of negative and miserable at this point. Yeah. Like, yeah, I want to teach them the importance of like a thoughtful gift, because I love thrifting, and I'm not gonna lie, my home is probably gonna be full of thrifted furniture, and I'm probably gonna thrift a lot of my kids' items unless it's something that I think needs to be bought brand new. Because to be fair, there is a lot of new and usable stuff in thrift stores nowadays, and it's overwhelming, and it's like, we don't need to buy things new anymore, especially with the rate that people tend to throw things out as well. It's like, why would you buy something brand new that you're not gonna have for another year, right? Like, just get it secondhand if you're not gonna keep it that long. Don't buy it brand new. So I know that a lot of my kids' stuff is probably gonna be thrifted, as long as my partner agrees, which I think they will. But and I know that I'll probably like tell, because I was thinking about it the other day, because my biggest pet peeve, honestly, is when children are babies. Because when they're babies, they tend to get like 10,000 gifts, you know? They get like all these toys, all this stuff that they just don't play with. So I know when I have kids, I'm gonna like try and make an emphasis to my partner's family, because they're the only family I'll be living with. I won't be near my family. I'll just be like, hey guys, can we like, if you're gonna get my kid anything, just get them like one thing. Like, don't get them like 10,000 gifts. Like, because then it's like, if they're only receiving one gift per person, I think that just sets a good mindset in terms of receiving gifts, because I don't want my kid to be receiving 10,000 gifts, and then, because you know, like when you're a child and you get all these toys, all these gifts, and then as you get older and older and older, you like get less and less gifts and smaller gifts, and then sometimes you just don't get any gifts, and it can be a bit disheartening. Like, I don't want them to be what's the word? Like, I don't want them to be I'm trying to think of the word. I don't want them to be I can't think of the word. Materialistic. I don't want them to be materialistic. I don't want them to expect lots of gifts. I like, if everyone just gives them one gift, and it's and that one gift is a special gift, whether it's a toy or some clothes or just something that's meaningful and not like I don't know. I don't see the, because then at the same time, it's like you as the parent have to deal with all those gifts. Like that's a lot of stuff to like. That's just a lot. I don't know. I personally, I just don't want. I don't want that to be the household that they grow up in. I want them to have. I want them to have just enough, right? They don't need too much. They don't need excess. They just need what they need, and that's all, right? I used it for a long time when I buy one thing. Yeah. When people say it's the thought that counts when giving a gift, I didn't get it because gifts like that are usually nothing special, but when I got gifts with actual thought, it's nice. Yeah, exactly. And I also found out that people who say that usually do that as an excuse, ironically. They're not even putting much thought. Yeah, exactly. It's not that it's cheap. Yeah, exactly. That's precisely it. Like, people just say it to say it, but if you make a thoughtful gift, it doesn't have to be expensive if it has meaning. I mean, I'm trying to think of a gift I've given that's like been thoughtful. I mean, we're doing like a secret Santa for my family, so I thrifted this soup mug that has a recipe on it, and I'm getting all the ingredients for the recipe, and I'm gifting the soup mug with the soup ingredients so they can make soup. And I was gonna make homemade bread, so that's my gift. But if I ever had kids, I mean, sure, sometimes would spoil them, but not going to spoil to the point they become, yeah, exactly, they've become like that, want to learn the value of life. Exactly. Yeah, no, because it was so funny because me and my fiance were just having like a little chat about like our childhood, and I was talking about how I used to pull pranks on my mom and how I didn't really grow up gaming, and that I wouldn't, if all video games stopped existing, I'd be chill. I would be fine if every gaming console and video game on the planet disappeared. I'd be fine. I would be fine because that was never something that like defined me. It's a hobby, I like it, but I'm not like obsessed. And as a kid, we had gaming consoles and games to play, but we had most of our fun like playing in the yard, playing outside, playing with the neighbors. We used to walk down to like when I was like 10 years old, we used to walk down, like do like a 15-minute walk to the local like corner shop and get lollies, and then walk home and have movie nights and make like pillow like forts, and just be a kid, you know, have fun, be imaginative. Like that's what it's all about. And I guess my main goal really is just to not have a kid who not that there's anything wrong with being inside all day, but I really want my kid to experience what it's like to be a kid. And then if they're older and they decide they really like video games and they want to play video games, sure, like that's whatever. But as long as they're a child and under my care, I'm gonna do my best to just show them how to just be silly and fun, and hopefully that will help them flourish into the person they're meant to be, right? When they don't care if it's even somewhat accurate, I can ask for a Phillips head screwdriver and they just don't care to the point where they got the wrong type and a type used for small screws. Oh no. Yeah. Well, that's so funny because it's like, for example, my mum, right? The gift I got her, I think I've said this on stream already, but for a while now, I'm gonna talk quietly just in case she hears me. But she has been wanting a milk frother, right? Because she has a coffee machine, but she complains that it's not hot enough, and she has to like add more hot water and do this and do that. And I said to her, I was like, well, get a milk. Sorry, I had the hiccups. Get a milk frother because it warms up your milk. And she's like, oh yeah, but it's too expensive. It's too expensive. Well, I found the exact milk frother. I found the exact milk frother that I used to use at my old work. Retail price is $110, and I got it for $17 at the thrift store. Like, you know what I mean? You can find some good finds at the thrift store. But this is something that and this is like the perfect thing, because it's like, this is something that she wants, and it didn't cost me an arm and a leg to get. Like, I didn't have to fork out a lot of money. I was able to get her something that was meaningful for her, that she's gonna use, and it's gonna be good, but also didn't break my bank. Hi Nox, welcome. Wow, yeah, I know, right? So good. Savings, let's go. Yeah, so really good, really good. So that's the good thing, though. I mean, and there's been a few stand mixers that have been at the local thrift stores. I've been wanting to buy them, but I know my mom would kill me if I brought one of those home, so I haven't, but I've been wanting to so bad. I've been wanting to. Oh man. But yeah. Wow. Maybe your mom doesn't want you to get it because she'll get it. No, she won't. I already know she won't. Yeah, no, I already know she won't, unfortunately. Cause that's why this is how I know. This is how I know. We gave her money a couple years ago to buy a coffee machine. And she didn't buy the coffee machine. She spent the money on something else. So then she kept asking for a coffee machine, even though we gave her the money to buy a coffee machine. And so instead, we just bought her the coffee machine. Because we were like, clearly giving you the money is not gonna be good because you're not gonna spend it on the coffee machine. So we just straight up bought it for her. And I told her to get a milk frother, but she said no because it's too expensive. That's why I ended up finding one. Because initially I was gonna buy it like full price, but then I was like, wait a minute, let me just check the thrift store real quick. And then I did, and I found one, and it was super cheap. So yeah. I'm trying to see what we can possibly watch. Hang out and have a little chit chat and watch some stuff. Mayhaps. Ugh, the itchy nose. What kind of music do you listen to? I don't really listen to music. Sorry. The only, I guess, music I listen to is just whatever's on my liked playlist, but that's really nothing in particular. I'm not really a music person. usually watch that you say we may not like? Let me have a look through my history to see if there's anything that sticks out. Well, firstly, I watch a lot of Hololive. So that, I know you guys probably don't like Hololive. I just watch a lot of reaction-esque not reaction. A lot of commentary. I watch a lot of commentary stuff that I don't think is in your guys' interest, because I am easily entertained, so I don't need to know about a thing to enjoy it. For example, I started watching this girl randomly who for some reason loves to shit on Meghan Markle, who was the one that married Prince Harry. She loves to shit on her for some reason, and Meghan Markle came out with like a whole Netflix show and talks about her dramas and stuff like that. So it was like that kind of stuff. And then I watch a lot of what would you call it, like health, not health, like if you guys know Obese to Beast. I watch Obese to Beast, and people like him that react to like fat acceptance and just like people who are overweight or taking Ozempic or doing random diets, or they react to like what I eat in a days and things like that. I like to watch that stuff. I like to watch camping videos, people going camping, and just like hanging out in nature. Let me see. Just a lot of reaction stuff. Like I watch this one girl who, to be fair, she has like no subscribers. She only has 10,000 subscribers, but I love her videos, and she does a lot of stuff about Australia. Like I think you guys might like her. I'll play one that I thought was funny. That I think you guys might like, but we won't watch much more than that. But it's just that type of stuff that I just know people won't enjoy. So I just don't do it. Cause yeah, I just assume, but my assumptions are usually correct. Alright, so this one is 10k subs. Sounds like a decent amount in my opinion. I mean, it is a decent amount, but considering to find someone who only has 10,000 subs, though, I feel like a lot of, oh, my thing's still up. A lot of people like tend to watch, you know, those bigger streamers. So I'm just making a point that bigger YouTubers, sorry. So I'm just making a point that she's just a little gal. I just like her. I love her videos. I just feel like she should have more subscribers than 10. I used to think she was a bigger YouTuber, and then I looked at her subs the other day, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, only 10,000 subs. Less would be considered nothing. In the grand scheme of things, not really. 10,000 subs, yes, is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, is not. Like, context, ladies. There is context. It is YouTube with like millions and millions of users. There's probably like a decent chunk of people who all have 10,000 subs. I'm saying, for her type of video, for the effort she puts in, she should have more. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna mute and we're gonna watch. I'm in a mood. Sorry, I'm not feeling it.
Pass me that amazing beach ball over here. Thank you. Could somebody puncture that? Would you be so kind to pass me that amazing beach ball over here? Thank you. Could somebody puncture that? I'm fed up of having to play for like you. You're a middle-aged man in a ridiculous hat. If that person was indeed who he said he was a garbage man, I would never have spoken to him the way I did.
What she said is objectively untrue. If that was a true fan, I wouldn't have spoken to them like that. They were a true fan, and you did speak to them like that. Huh? Hey guys, it's Briar, and let's chat about it. So yes, all the rumours are true. Currently in the Southern Hemisphere, it is summer. We do in fact have a summery Christmas, and currently our weather-related problems involve trying to not get sunburned and avoiding mosquito bites. And because it is summer, that also means that it is festival season here in Australia and New Zealand, and I'm assuming most of the Southern Hemisphere for those who celebrate. And so today's topic comes from an Australian alternative music festival known as Good Things. And well, to surmise the situation in a clickbaity sentence, a musician freaked out at a fan because they had a beach ball. Yeah. It's true, that did happen. It really truly went viral over socials. It started a lot of chitter chatter, and so I thought, why not take a crazy chance and bring it to you, the besties, to yap about this whole situation that went down at the Good Things Music Festival. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, yeah, stick around and let's get into it. So state the obvious, but I'm clearly not a connoisseur in alternative music. Yes, of course, I felt like I uniquely related to Evanescence as a teenager, but I feel like that's kind of a canon event regardless of your music preferences. And so even though I do like some alternative music, I definitely wanted to disclaim off the bat that like I am definitely Ellie Goulding on the outside of this situation. I'm not like in the weeds, I'm not in these fandoms, so there could be things I miss. And if anyone is fans of these bands or has been to this music festival, would truly love your thoughts, your opinions, any kind of like insider scoop or knowledge that maybe I don't know. Yeah, would love to know it in the comments, but also wanted to state off the bat that like not an expert, but I did have a quick look into the music festival, and this is what their about says. Good Things Festival is an Australian alternative music festival, held annually in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane over one weekend each December. Established by a team of seasoned industry professionals who have promoted, booked and managed most of Australia's major music festivals over the past 20 years, Good Things aim to fill a gap in the market by showcasing the best local, national and international bands in world-class venues with high-level production. Sounds fun, it sounds like a classic music festival, and like from all the clips I saw, looked like everyone was having fun, looked like everyone was having a good time, and I'm sure I'm putting the kind of lineup promo pic there right now, but I guess probably the bands that most people would know is obviously Tool and Weezer. You may or may not know the other kind of artists going down the list, but I think what is important to note is that this festival happens at 3 locations, like they said, across a weekend, and the first location is Melbourne, as we can see. Friday 5th of December, Melbourne, then Sydney, then Brisbane. And what we are about to talk about happened at Melbourne. So it happened at the first show, and that will become relevant later. I feel like the only other kind of potentially relevant information is that the tickets cost 270 Australian dollars. How much is that in the United States dollar? Okay, so that's around 180 United States doll here's. Lots and lots of nickels for you. I would say that this pricing, yes, expensive, but probably not that out of the scope of what we see with a lot of festivals. I mean, festivals, let's be honest, are expensive. Festivals are more expensive than like a one-off concert, and obviously you're seeing lots of people, and I guess the thought is always, if you love like lots of these bands, like if you love like 5 or more of these bands, obviously that's a really great zeal. So that's kind of how, you know, we justify the cost, we do the girl math of it all. But yes, that is the price, and I do feel like that's kind of also relevant to note. So now that I've kind of introduced you to the music festival of it all and kind of how it works, I did want to introduce you to the band, and more specifically the singer slash musician in this band that didn't like the beach balls. Truly hates. Hate is a strong word, but she hates. The band is Garbage, and they are an American rock band, and they've been around since the 90s, they were kind of in the right under Weezer, like literally right under Weezer is Garbage. So I would say they're like right under the headlining act. So I would say that lots of people going to this concert festival would have been pretty excited for Garbage. And I feel like they're a pretty big deal. And because they've been around since the 90s, they have a really like long-standing and loyal fan base and followers. Like people have been going to their concerts and their gigs since the 90s. People have been fans of theirs for a really long time. So the singer in question is Shirley Ann Manson, born the 26th of August. Does that make her a Leo or a Virgo? I think Virgo. 1966, and she is a Scottish singer-songwriter. You will definitely hear the Scottish accent when we get to the situation. She has been the lead vocalist of the Garbage band. Sorry, I feel like if you say it wrong, it sounds like you're calling the band Garbage. Of the band Garbage, not of the Garbage band. I'm not calling the band Garbage. The band is called Garbage. Right. Okay, so she has been the lead vocalist of this band. So again, I think to highlight, you know, she is a truly seasoned musician. And from what I could tell is like, she is definitely a huge advocate and loves to speak out on topics that are really important to her. For a long time, she's been very vocal about feminist topics, things like that. So that's kind of the vibe of Garbage, that's kind of the vibe of Shirley, and that's kind of the vibe of Good Things Music Festival. And I'm really sorry, my brain wants to call it Good Times Music Festival. So if I say Good Times for some reason, just know I mean good things. I feel like that is the groundwork laid down like clockwork, only slightly chaotic clockwork. And so I think we should get into the Melbourne show where this all went down. As we can see, Garbage is right under Weezer, so they definitely play later on in the day. So there have been quite a few artists already play, and don't you guys even worry about it. I'm telling you all of this for a reason. Like truly, there's a purpose to this madness. There's a purpose to these yaps. But so let's go back to the beginning, back to Friday the 5th of December, where Garbage performed at the Good Things Festival in Melbourne. And let's now just simply watch what happened when Shirley saw one of her fans or someone in the audience playing with a gosh darn beach ball.
Now, while we're at it, would you be so kind to pass me that amazing beach ball over here? Thank you, darling angels. Thank you. Could
The reaction's wild.
Yeah, I'm a joy. I'm a Debbie Downer. Beach balls and rock shows. Face. Oh, you're getting rid of the balloon now? Yeah, you big dudes. Wow, oh my god, you're so cool. It's just so outrageously cool. I can't get over it. Wow. It's disrespectful, and musicians have had enough, and we're fed up of not getting paid properly, and fed up of having to play for bags like you. You're a middle-aged man in a ridiculous hat.
I forgot what she was saying.
Face, and I literally want to ask people to put you in the face. But you know what? I'm a lady, so I won't. But if truly...
Who even is this lady? Her name's Shirley Manson. She sings for the band Garbage. When I first watched this, do you know what the vibe it gave me was, because I don't like shit talking in games. It's just not for me. I don't think it's funny. I don't do it. I don't like being around it. I just don't think it's funny. This feels like when you're in a match, and then someone's like being like, oh, come on guys, like fucking do something. And then someone's like, oh yeah, well, you only have one kill. And then the person stops talking. Oh, you're gonna stop talking now? Oh, because you've only got one kill and you suck? Yeah. And they just keep going. And it's like, dude, shut up. Just shut up. That's exactly how this feels. She's like, oh, so now you're gonna pop the ball? Now you're in your stupid little hat? Oh, I should get people to punch you. But I'm a lady, so I won't. The fact that she even said that is insane. Anyways.
I would love to send my crew over
Crazy.
to mess you up, but you know what? I won't, because I'll pity you, because you're a small man. with a small...
So,
And then everyone started booing
yeah,
her.
she really did not hold back. She really, really hates beach balls and this guy with the beach ball. And I feel like the first clip that I showed you, at first everyone's like, hee hee and ha ha, she hates the beach ball. She's basically asking other fans to pop it. And it's like, okay, sure, a bit annoying. She didn't like it.
Garbage?
But as we
Yeah.
went
I mean,
into
I'm not
that
really a music
second
person,
clip,
so I don't know anyone.
and she kept going on and having a go at this guy, oh, it really got personal. It really got serious to the point of literally threatening violence. And as you can see, I mean, as you could hear from the crowd, everyone was like, haha, yeah, beach ball annoying. We get it. Haha, yeah. Artists should be paid appropriately, but also we paid $270 to be here. So, like, it's not like it was a free concert. It's not like people didn't pay a lot of money to go. But then when she started threatening violence against this guy, started like degrading him when he literally just had a beach ball, yeah, the tides turned really quickly. The vibe really quickly changed. As you could hear, people started booing. People were just like, this isn't actually funny anymore. Like, it's fine to find beach balls annoying and to, I guess, hate the beach because it's not, I don't know, you don't like it, I don't know, but it really did completely and utterly take a turn when she was threatening violence and when she was just being really like out of pocket and out of line to this guy that she does not know. And so, as I'm sure you could hear in the crowd, people were not happy, and the comments on these videos also really unimpressed and really didn't understand why Shirley was reacting this way. Like, why would she talk to someone in the crowd like that? Truly, in the scheme of things in life, he wasn't really doing anything, but obviously he had a symbol of something that she hated. It really did trigger such an emotive reaction to the situation. And what is to me really interesting is someone puts literally in the comments of this video that she would have loved the Metallica concert then, where there is people with lots of beach balls, and it seems to be like a thing that people really love and enjoy doing. So it just really kind of seemed confusing, and I was also confused. I was like, is there something that like I'm missing? Like, I don't get, because I'm not in the alternate music festival scene. Like, am I missing something like this? Is there some symbol that the beach ball has that I don't know about because I listen to Taylor Swift? I tried to look into it and I couldn't really find anything, but if you guys know anything about that, do please put in the comments, because it is kind of still a big question mark that I have over the situation. And I guess the only thing I could kind of conclude is that it's almost like a identity thing, right? And like going to the beach is not doesn't really fit in with the identity of rock, I guess, for Shirley. And I don't know if that is a common thing for people. I feel like in Australia and New Zealand maybe it's a little bit different because it's literally summer. That's why they had a beach ball. And what is even crazier about why this guy had a beach ball is because a different band had thrown beach balls into the crowd. So I found this article on musicfeed.com.au, and this article literally says, myself and members of fellow Aussie band Yours Truly and Forever Ends Here were the ones who originally tossed the offending balls into the main stage crowd at the behest of lineup super subs Stand Atlantic, appropriately during their banger blank on the beach. And I'm not gonna lie, good times were had by all. The beach balls were topical to the blank on the beach song. Like, it made sense. And so then Bonnie from Stand Atlantic wrote on her IG story, love your shirls, bad news for you, cause we planned beach balls for every show. It ain't gonna be so serious. We are playing at a summer festival in a country that named a boat Fairy McFairy Face. Sincerely, a fellow beach hater. And so it turns out that the guy that had the beach ball had it because of a previous band that had performed and thrown them out into the crowd as like a fun, interactive, topical, on theme, little fun thing to do at a festival that is happening in summertime in a country that is very beach centric. Like, I feel like even if you hate the beach, you probably hang out around pools in Australia, you probably play with beach balls. I feel like at the end of the day, even if you hate the beach, like, you would still have fun playing with beach balls and floaty devices at a festival because it's hot, it's like the summery vibe, like it's not that deep or that serious. And so that is how the guy got the beach ball. But I was really wondering, I was like, I need to know who this guy is that Shirley yelled at. I need to know his take on the whole situation, and because I had seen in several comments that he was a genuine fan of garbage. And so I eventually found this article on bluntmagazine.com.au, and it says, exclusive, a beach ball guy breaks silence. It went dark. I was scared. And so this is the guy that Shirley Manson yelled at. And it turns out that what people were saying was true. This guy's name is Ben, and he is known as a gig pig, or I guess a gig pig, which is basically, I guess, just someone who loves festivals and loves garbage and has been a fan of garbage for nearly 30 years. He truly is a fan. It says that he went and saw them for the first time in 1996. So he has been a fan of Shirley for half of her life nearly, and has been going to their concerts a lot. Finding out this information, I do unfortunately think makes it so much worse for Shirley. Like, there's no way that you could really justify that outburst that she had, and there's no way that you could really like say, oh, but it's, you know, funny. Like, no one was laughing. But this is some quotes from the article itself. I was jumping up and down with the ball in the air, but only per song. He says, waving the ball to try and get her attention, trying to get into the festival atmosphere and show you're having a good time. How many times have you seen beach balls at music festivals? Then Manson turned on him. All of a sudden she's performing and then turns all of her attention to me out of the whole crowd. You and your beach ball waving in the air. You're such a big, important fucking guy with your big fucking ball. I'm so scared of you. I'm so thrilled by you. What a fucking... And then he goes on to say, I thought it was kind of hilarious in a way, and everyone around kind of laughed. I turned and looked around at the other people in the crowd. I thought that was the end of it. But
so, basically, music festival is happening in Australia. This band named Garbage called out this guy, well, this singer called out the guy for having a beach ball, and was just like, pop that fucking beach ball, da 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 da. Everyone was laughing. They thought it was funny, but then she like kept going in on him, and she's like, oh, like, you think you're so cool with your beach ball, like, said that he had like a small dick, was like telling people like around him to punch him. She's like, oh, you know, she's like, you know, I ought to get someone to punch you, but I won't because I'm a lady and I won't do that. But like, she was just going off at this random dude, and then everyone started not laughing anymore, and they were booing her because they were like, that's not cool. And that was basically it, but she's gonna go into more about what happens next. I've already seen the video, but because the reaction of Australia is hilarious.
then it wasn't. The second round is where it went dark, and he goes on to say, like, it was scary. Was she trying to turn the crowd onto me? Was someone going to blindside punch me out? Left, right, looking around, who's around me? Is someone coming to get me? I've worked in hospitality for 20 years. You're always scanning for trouble. In that moment, it was shock, then fear, then hurt. It was really awkward, and a lot of people came up to me towards the end of the set going, that was unbelievable, that was out of line, we don't want that in Australia. Just really such a good point of like, because she was literally saying she
had some bad memories with the beach ball, maybe.
And so if the crowd had been on her side, and if the crowd was like, yeah, you know what, this guy in this hat sucks, like, she truly could have turned enough people in the crowd against him, but luckily the crowd wasn't feeling it at all. The crowd was like, absolutely no. Otherwise it could have been a really dangerous and scary situation. I feel like she doesn't acknowledge that at all, and doesn't really realize the power that she could have had and how easily she could have gone so south to turn on him. And
if people were really diehard fans and they were like, yeah, anything you say, you know, that like he was in a crowd of like, I don't fucking know, like thousands of people. Like, what if everyone around him just dogpiled him? Like, he could have been seriously injured, you know?
it out like he was being really, you know, like disruptive or upsetting to the people around him and made people want to hurt him. And it's just like really sad to hear that she would just do this to anyone not knowing who they are just because they had
and then she also said, like,
she hates,
because she was like saying he had a stupid hat and said he wasn't a real fan. She's like, you know, got idiots like you in the crowd who aren't even fans of us. But then she like revealed that he had been a fan for 30 years and first saw them in concert in 1996.
beach. But also further knowing that the reason he had a beach ball is because of a different band from the show, and he was a true, genuine, legitimate fan since 1996, mind you. Truly, the further you looked into the situation, it just got worse and worse. Like, there was no good optic that I could find. There was no way that you could, like, square that peg into that round hole. It was truly just, she completely lost her SHIT. I don't know why I'm not swearing when she swore so much. And crazy enough, after the show, she made a post saying that she's making no apologies for calling out the beach ball and for her hate of beach balls, even though she's saying it's for a hate of beach balls, but she's basically saying that she wishes to beat up a random stranger in the crowd enjoying her music. Turns out actually a fan, turns out has a beach ball because of a previous band that performed. Truly diabolical, truly lemon-scented. But as I so subtly Easter egged and hinted at in the beginning and throughout this video, this was the first show of this festival.
You're really living up to the name of the band. Yeah, I love metal, rock, and punk, and I've been to double-digit open-air festivals, but this story really takes the cake for most unlikable artists, yeah.
Australia. There were still 2 more shows in Brisbane and Sydney over that weekend. And so I feel like if there's one thing that needs to be stated about Australia is that they are very serious about being unserious. And so I feel like they just reacted to the situation in the most unserious yet enjoyable and like karmically satisfying way possible. And well, let's just watch some clips from the Sydney and Brisbane shows to see what Australia did and how they reacted to the whole situation.
You can't see the text, but you can kind of see people just brought a shit ton of beach balls to use during the garbage concert.
And so as you saw, there were beach balls aplenty. I've got inflatable crocodiles and avocados galore. There were so many floaties, beach balls, beach themed things being thrown around during their sets at those shows, and everyone was just like, you know what, that is exactly how we wish to respond. But we're not going to get violent as Shirley wanted to do. We're not going to go crazy. We're not going to not go and see this band that a lot of people were really excited to see.
I've seen artists craft or less about getting a bottle to the head. Artists craft? I'm not sure what you mean. That's gonna tell you something. Crash less? Oh, I've seen artists crash less about getting a bottle to the head. Yeah. No, for sure. And like, she will mention here that she thinks it could have just been the Australian heat. Because I think a lot of people underestimate how hot it gets in Australia, and as somebody who also cannot handle the heat and gets quite emotional when I'm hot, like, she was just basically saying that maybe performing on stage during summer, she was just getting a bit like overwhelmed and antsy and just agitated, and kind of let her frustrations out onto this poor guy, which is like a fair thing to say, but also you're a professional performing. Like, if you're feeling agitated and hot, this should have been something that was organized prior to the performance, because you knew you were coming to Australia during the summer. You would have had time to probably get things like situated, like know how your performance was going to go and whatnot. You would have had time to realize that, oh, it's fucking hot and performing in the summer heat fucking sucks. So she does mention that that might be why she got a bit snappy, but I don't think that's any excuse to have a go at somebody who's just having a good time. Like, everybody's hot, you know what I mean? Like, we're all here in the summer heat. You know, like, and you're at the end of the day, she is a professional, so she shouldn't be acting that way, and especially with the type of violence that she was kind of inciting as well, was just a bit too far, to be honest.
But boy oh boy, bet your sweet cheeks, we are going to be very unserious and very karmic about it. And so that is how the Aussies respond. And I feel like there was such a sense of like national pride that Australia had, and like state pride and different city pride, where like Melbourne was like, thank you Brisbane and Sydney, thank you guys so much for standing up for us, and thank you guys so much for taking so many beach balls to their set as a karma and an unserious way to respond to the situation, and I guess in a way kind of disengage the seriousness and like the violence that she had threatened towards what turned out to be a fan. And I think it was truly the perfect response from the Aussie crowd. But now I wanted to show you guys how she responded to their response, and I'm going to put a version that has subtitles because I think I will probably have to mute some of it, but you'll see anyway. This is how Shirley responded to the beach ball response of it all.
I just have to address your glorious beach balls. They're very impressive. They're very impressive, and not only are they impressive, but they are very, very...
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, if she had gotten a bit agitated and been like, oh, you know, she's like, I'm just really hot, guys, like, I'm just getting agitated, like, I didn't mean to blow up at you. But yeah, the fact that she, like, doubled down as well in an article and was like, no, I'm not going to apologize, is like, what? Like, hello?
So, the only thing that kind of shocks me a little is that there's been more fuss made about me offending beach balls. So, whilst the press are busy cooking up some kind of crazy, like, rhetoric, I would just like to remind you all what actually is important in this life. And maybe a beach ball brings you joy, and for that I apologise. If I upset you about your blessed
I'll make a
beach
comment
balls,
on this in a second.
I humbly apologise. However, I would really like it if the governments of the day...
I feel like just straight up that is not true. Or maybe I'm just too woke on my side of socials, and I've seen a lot of people talking and maintaining discussions about...
So, I kind of covered the subtitles there, but basically she's like, oh, all the news outlets are talking about me, but no one's talking about the kids in Palestine and how all these kids are dead. Like, we should be talking about what's happening in Palestine and not worrying about what I said. And it's like, sure, yes, I don't have anything against that necessarily, but you can't do something shitty and then be like, oh, well, you can't get mad at me or talk about it because this bad thing's happening. It's like, that's not how it works. And also, yes, as long as there is constant coverage of what's important going around the world, it's okay for news outlets to have like a mini, you know, like a mini article or a mini segment talking about something silly, something semi-harmless going on to lighten the news, right? Like, not everybody wants to be a Debbie Downer and hear about all the shit that's happening. Like, it's not like you're the front headline and no one's talking about Palestine. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's like, it's like what she did was not okay. Like, she, like, in an alternate reality, that man could have been seriously hurt if someone decided to actually follow what she said and punch him, right? And if someone did punch him, she would have been in even more strife because she told someone to do it. Like, she incited violence. And as somebody who has a lot of influence, that's just really not okay. And I don't think there's any issue with news outlets talking about this, because it is somewhat important to put a light on, just to say that, hey, you can't be a figure and say this type of stuff. Like, what she said was not okay. Well, it was like not okay, and she can't just slip it under the rug and be like, oh, but this is happening in the world, so don't focus on me because I'm not important. This is what's important. And almost making the news outlet, I mean, look, news outlets aren't like, not all news outlets are like great, right? I totally get that, but kind of being like, oh, the news outlets are the bad guys because they're framing me in this bad light when they should be focusing on the more important things. And it's like, they are, but they also want to talk about your dumb actions because you made a mistake and you need to own up to it. That's as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Those topics, and I will give to her that this is something that she is passionate about and is something that she speaks out about, but to try and like make these things connected and to be so anti-violence when you were so outwardly violent towards a fan, and all you can say is, I'm sorry if I offended your beach balls. Huh? Like this comment says, gaslighting 101, and this comment, A, blame the beach balls and not trying to have violence brought on a man at a concert throwing a ball about. It just felt like she was really missing the point and trying to use very serious things.
Change to PC, missed the speech. Wow. How about not crushing about beach balls when bad things happen elsewhere? Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that I think she does really feel passionate about, but she is trying to use those things to just dismiss any of her actions, to just dismiss and like gloss over what she was actually trying to incite when she went on that rant. And I think a lot of people were just really unimpressed with her response, and I think her fans were really unimpressed with her response from what I can tell. And some people were saying this is performative. From what I can see, she is pretty passionate about speaking out about things, so I definitely don't want to take that away from her. You can be passionate and speak about that and kind of maybe use the viral moment to speak about these things, but that's not how you apologize. Like, let's be so honest and for real, that's not an apology at all. And apparently she seemed pretty pissed about the beach balls.
Like, she could have totally done something like this where she could have like she was saying, like, use the limelight she has to talk about the important stuff. Like, if she really did care about Palestine and all that stuff, she could have been like, hey, like, I will, like, because she was kind of like, hey, like, really appreciate all the beach balls, very funny, haha. I just want to say, like, based on what happened at the last concert, like, I've reflected and realized that my actions were not okay. I shouldn't have gone so hard at that person. You know, kind of done an apology and then just been like, and while the cameras are on me, let me just talk about some stuff that I'm truly passionate about. Like, let's use this moment to make a positive change and bring attention to things that are important in the world. Like, she could have totally done that instead of just shifting blame and being like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. You're the one doing something wrong because you're not reporting about the important stuff. You're reporting about me instead when I didn't do anything wrong. It's just like, it's just childish.
No. Hates the beach and hates beach balls. But then in another performance she talks about the fact that it's come out that who she yelled at was a true fan. So let's watch that clip now and that response now.
If that person was indeed who he said he was a garbage fan, I would never have spoken to him the way I did. Yeah. I would like you to bear in mind that everything is contextual. If you're not given any context, you have no idea what went on. Second of all, I've had a 30-year career, and I have never spoken to any fan like that in my life before, except one who spat on me once. He spat on me once, I went nuts, and you know what happened? Is I got a gig as a Terminator on a massive TV show. Thank you to the fakes. Thank you to the true fans. We love you. I'm sorry I lost my cool, but I still hate beach balls, and I always will.
I really feel like I'm missing something with the beach ball hate. The beginning of that sorry was so insincere. The big IF the big if. And also what she said is categorically, objectively untrue. If that was a true fan, I wouldn't have spoken to them like that. They were a true fan and you did speak to them like that. Huh? Her ending of that speech felt more genuine, felt more sincere. The sorry I lost my cool, like, that felt more genuine, but it's almost like in her mind, she hates beach balls so much that a true fan of hers could not have a beach ball. Like, I don't know. I really am hoping that someone understands the beach ball hate lore and has explained it in the comments. And if someone does, I will definitely pin it. I will definitely pin the comment. The one thing I do kind of want to note as well, from what I kind of found during my research, is that a lot of people were bringing up that Shirley has had a lot going on in her personal life. She clearly feels very heavily about what's going on in the world and is, you know, been on this chore for a very long time. And so a lot of people were trying to, I guess, when she says context, add that as a context as to why she lost her cool, as to why she snapped. Also, Australia is very hot. So, you know, sometimes the heat makes people angry. It's also a running theory, but I think like all of those things are true, but the way that she treated that fan for really no reason, just because she hates the beach. I mean, I get it, that sounds annoying, but I don't know. But like the fact that it seems so tricky for her to reflect on the fact that
we're
was
just
really
lucky.
wrong.
Like, can you imagine if, because like here's the thing, if you don't like beach balls, don't go to a country in the summertime that is known for the beach. Right? She's just lucky that I guess people weren't there with freaking water guns or something to cool each other off and she didn't get accidentally squirted in the face. Like, can you imagine if that happened? Maybe she had to watch that movie one too many times. Maybe, yeah. Who are the people cheering for her for what she has done? I don't understand why they're cheering when she says she hates a beach ball. Because I think it's just, well, I think they were just like cheering because it was funny. Like she's sticking to the bit, and I guess a lot of the time when you're a fan of someone, people tend to like accept apologies really easily. So she's like, you know, she's like, oh, sorry for what I did, but you know what? I still hate beach balls, and they're like, yeah, woo, you know what I mean? Like that was the type of vibe.
Fact that this person is a genuine fan, still seems to be a genuine fan, even though they were treated terribly, and like she said, seems to be the second person she's lost her cool at. I think we can definitely acknowledge that context and acknowledge that there's clearly a lot on her mind and she clearly feels a lot of things heavily.
The fact that the only other person she's ever lost her cool at was a man who spat on her, like the scale is insane. Man spits on me, lose my shit. Guy has beach ball, lose my shit. Like, they're not even in the same realm. Like, a guy spitting on you, yeah, have a go at him. Like, that's just uncalled for. A man having fun with a beach ball, like, what the heck? Why would you yell at him? That's crazy.
But that doesn't then justify you wanting someone in your crowd to have something violent to happen to them, to wish violence upon them, especially when she seems so anti-violence, ? But the final kind of clip I wanted to show you guys was her talking about maybe they're not going to come back to Australia.
And it is a sobering thought for OGs like us. We don't know if we'll come back to Australia, and many of you will be so happy to hear that. But it's always a thrill to come here. We got first brought down to Australia by the great Michael Gudinski.
These Aussies are so unserious because the top comment is literally a picture of a beach ball crying. But yeah, I think because there was no like reflection, apology, realizing of the hypocrisy, realizing of the really kind of like, I'm sorry if you felt that way, I'm sorry, but the kind of I'm sorry not sorry, Demi Lovato of it all, the doubling down. Yeah, probably people aren't gonna want to see them again, and not even because like they don't like her or the music, but because they don't want someone coming to Australia and inciting violence at a music festival. Like, everyone just wants to have fun at a music festival. Everyone, like I said, spent a lot of money to be there. They just want to have fun. They just want to do that twirly whirly mosh pit thingy. They just want to, you know, throw a beach ball around, and they want to make summer memories. You know, they don't want someone attacking random strangers because they have a beach ball and like inciting violence on them and like fingers crossing that someone might them, you know. Sorry, people are just not wanting those vibes, and for that reason, yeah, I think people aren't shedding too much of a tear about the whole situation. But that is kind of the whole beach ballification situation of it all, and so I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you see this go down on socials? Do you have any insider info? Do you know the reason for the beach ball hate? Yet at Metallica concerts there's beach ball love.
Doofenshmirtz.
I don't know. I would love to know all your thoughts in the comments down below. So please, let me know. But yes, thank you guys.
Destroys every beach ball on the planet. But yeah, that's what I like to watch. I like to watch her. I think it's just because it feels like I'm watching with a friend. Like, I feel like I'm watching a video with a friend, and we're just sitting down and having a chit chat. That's why I love watching these types of videos. It just makes me feel like I'm like hanging out with somebody, you know. But if you guys have any video recommendations, let me know, and we can pop something on. I'll still be live for a little bit longer. Someone just said, I can't believe she unironically said, how can you be mad that I bullied a fan when there's a genocide going on? The thing Cheryl doesn't realize is that every Oz show they play now will be full of beach balls. Welcome to Australia. She seems to think that being ready to throw hands is a badass thing. Personally, I believe it shows a lack of maturity and self-control. Yeah. It is a good channel. I like her. Her name is Briar Chats. But like I said, yeah, 10.6k. I feel like she should have more, but I'm happy that she's small because I like following smaller accounts. Let's see what this says. I'm 33 and was very into garbage growing up as a kid, but mostly forgot about them as an adult. I'm also Middle Eastern. It's insanely scummy and awful that she's using Palestine as a subversion for her petty meltdown over a fucking beach ball. On top of the way she acted, on top of the way she attacked a fan for being middle-aged when she's closing in on being a literal senior citizen, like that quote-unquote there's Palestinian children underground thing she said is just as rotten. Like, why are you saying that? Why are you using a crisis to deflect from taking accountability for being a rotten person? And with how long she's been on the touring and festival circuit, she'd know beach balls and other inflatables are an inevitable force at any given festival, at any given place in the world. Lost all respect for her, and 6-year-old me would be crushed to find out she's like this. That's a like. She's just made sure that every Australian show of hers now has beach balls in honor of that man. Don't know what she expected. I was at the Sydney show and so many beach balls were thrown when they came on stage, as well as inflated burritos that had no beach balls written on them. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Oh, it really gets my goat when famous people go, quote unquote, oh, look at this crisis, ignore what I've done, you're silly for being mad at me, when this crisis over here exists. Mate, two things can upset and cause issues. Sure, it's not the same vibe, but hiding behind something people care about makes you less likable from your fans. She tried to use her fans as a weapon against someone who was having fun. If it worked, there would have been police involved, not just the press. Yeah, literally. Like, it would have been way more detrimental to her. Shelley should be grateful she's even at a festival in 2025. Babes, your fan base is older. I'm 38, used to be a fan, and as a lifelong alt babe, now the beach ball doesn't have a meaning. She's literally insane. Let's see. 29 Seconds Club? I've been super invested in the story as I was a huge fan of Garbage when I was younger. Shirley needs to get a damn grip. Edit. I went to Ozzy Osbourne's final show where there was literal metal and rock royalty, Sabbath, Metallica, Tool, Slayer, Pumpkins, etc. And there were gigantic beach balls provided by the venue going around the crowd all day. Yeah. Two things can be true. She's right to stand up for what she believes in and for the causes she's passionate about, but refusing to take accountability for what she did and the harm she caused to the man who was simply there to enjoy himself while trying to hide behind global atrocities is honestly very distasteful. Yeah. Oh yeah, Garbage was from the 90s. Why is she calling him old? All us 90 kids are getting older. Yeah, exactly. Like, her fan base is getting old. Like, what do you, like, of course he's gonna be old, like, ish, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be middle-aged. Like, of course, that's your fan base. Hello? Even in America, it's not unheard of to see beach balls sometimes at rock concerts, especially outdoors. People are just having some innocent fun. I can see getting hit with one and being annoyed, but it's not like it's a dodgeball. A beach ball is light and like a balloon. I think she just needs to chill. Yeah. Funny. Does anyone have any recommendations? Yay, nay. I don't have any at the moment. We could go to our tried and true and watch some scary videos, but I'm just gonna be right back, and then we can get to watching something. If you guys have any ideas though, let me know. Just shoot your ideas at me and I'll check them out when I'm back. Oh my god, it just keeps giving me the same painting. No, come on! Come on! I know there's gonna be more than just that painting. Bruh. Oh, this little guy won't leave me alone. I'm scared he's like gonna be on top of me. I'm scared he's like gonna be on the thing. Fuck my life!
Feed up and running.
10 seconds to insertion.
Setting up.
10 seconds to insertion.
5 seconds to insertion.
Also, show you insertion.
Numbered.
Oh no! Oh my god! He's a runner, he's a track star. Oh my god, he's still after me? Good night, Tasanaki. Get good EPs. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And I'm thinking, but I don't really know if I got something you would enjoy. I'm open to anything. I kind of like a lot of stuff. Also, hi Omega. The Christmas gift I didn't ask for. Imagine an Avengers Assemble scene, but it's just hundreds of beach balls bouncing towards her. Yeah. got a snack. Here, let me have a look. We could. The Amazing Digital Circus? No. Let me have a look. Hold on. I've seen this character. This character is like really popular. 93 million views. Jesus. I personally haven't watched it. Only because just checking if I find anything. I doubt you want to watch. Ooh, I'd love to watch. I love speedruns. Yes. No, I'm so down to watch a speedrun. I personally haven't watched this because it gives me the same vibe as like, I don't know what that show's called. There's like a bunch of shows that have this vibe to them that I think you probably will all like understand. But it's like, I'm trying to think of what they're called. What's that show? There's like a show, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know. It's been not something I am interested in, but I'd be interested, I guess, so I could watch an episode, but just to see what it's about. But one day ago, episode 7. There's already a theories video. The episode came out a day ago, and then 20 hours ago was a theory. Like, the video barely came out, and someone's already coming up with theories about it. That's crazy. Am I gonna indoctrinate? Probably not. I'm not gonna lie, probably not. Okay. I have never been, I don't know how to phrase this in a nice way. I don't know how to phrase this in a nice way. I've never been one to ship or fangirl or write fanfics or any of that. This show gives me that vibe that the community ship characters, that they self-insert, that they like it reminds me, there's like that, what's that show? Oh my god, what's that show? It's got like I know what it is, but what's it called? I know it's got like, hold on. I'm like, what? I'm like trying to, all I know is like of the shirt, I think. Oh, wait. Steel Steven Universe. It gives me Steven Universe vibes. I never watched Steven Universe, but that show also gives me the same, like, fanfic, self-insert, shipping, like, community, like, that's the fan base. I never watched Steven Universe either. So, it gives me the same vibe, and I'm nothing against it, but I don't know. When communities are like that, I tend to stay away. The community is like that, yeah, but I personally just stay away from that and try and enjoy it on my own. No, that's fair. That's fair. Understandable. Have you ever watched from this channel called Casual Geographic? He just covers about animal facts and stuff, and I enjoy it. Ooh, okay. All of them are an hour plus? That's okay. Just someone through and I'll see if I can find it. Cause I love speedruns. Casual Geographic. Oh. I keep getting recommended his videos, but I don't watch them. I'm just going through their account right now. Another shorts creator like Casual Geographic is more Pars. Yes, my brother has been recommending that person to me as well. Guess we can watch one of the videos. Oh. Let me just see what he's got. I'll find one for us. His most popular videos? See, I have a video here that's partly watched only because I had Lindsay Nicole in it. Sorry, I'm still looking. I found something else since we just watched a garbage band. I have a VOD and behind the scenes of one of my fave bands. I'll put it in suggestions over on Discord. Oh, okay. I was really excited to watch a speed run. I don't know. None of these are really calling out to me. Maybe... I... Oh my god, I got the hiccups. Here, let's watch this one. It keeps trying to play, so I think it wants me to watch it. It is the science behind the gang wars of Wales. Oh wait.
The ocean is the world's oldest hood, so makes sense that the gang wars of the animals in it are titanic. There's Avengers levels of conflict happening under the waves, and in the center of it all is Sea Thanos.
That Minecraft
The
one
orca's
like
range
last
is
time,
everywhere.
right? That was
Its diet
crazy.
is everything. Their breeding season is a day that ends in Y. They hunt whenever and no one ever hunts them. Orcinus orca is really that guy. It's an apex evolutionary attack dolphin, known to give great white sharks PTSD, and scare the literal, no figurative feces out of the biggest predator alive. We'll get to that. The cetaceous sea panda is an intellectual vibe check with a street name.
Never knew that
Killer
gang
whale,
wars.
the name they got after ancient whalers watched what a
Yes,
barcode
gang
armada
wars
could
of
do
the
to a
Welsh.
barnacle bus stop. With the size, intelligence, and power of friendship, the whale killer might just be nature's favorite, and there's virtually nothing on the ocean census that can't get orked. But all that dominance has a cost. Like an ocean kingpin, orcas have made a lot of enemies, and there's at least two that'll bully them back. It all comes back to the often forgotten rule of nature. A predator has to be convinced you're worth the effort, but prey will turn you into past tense before you go offense. The world of whale beef is messy, with alliances, rivalries, and straight mob mentality. Because for every orca, there's a pack of...
It's really funny that we're watching this video because I just started following someone on Instagram who talks exclusively about orcas, and they were saying that due to I think what was it? It was like due to like the excessive fishing and ice that is melting and things like that. It's like messing with the ecosystem and like the it's messing with the orca's like natural hunting, I guess, of whatever it hunts. So they have been not that orcas don't kill whales, because they're literally called killer whales, but orcas have been seen actually collectively working together to take down humpback whales, which is crazy.
pilot whales. This is what orcas see in their nightmares, allegedly. Let's talk about it. Every dolphin is a whale, but not every whale is a dolphin, and pilot whales are a very big dolphin. They're the second biggest dolphin, only beat by the ocean equalizer. Pilot whales look like off-brand belugas, and that's pretty close to their personality. Pilot whales have been called the Ferraris of the sea, being clocked at over 30 miles per hour while hunting, and they'll use this speed to run up on pods of orcas. That, and the fact that pilots can roll in pods that get to over 100, is why killer whales may have a healthy amount of fear in a deep fake dolphin. Scientists in Iceland have seen orcas go from socializing to dead silent to suddenly synchronizing a retreat before a group of pilot whales pulled up. In some cases, the orcas were literally run out by the pilots, with both parties porpoising during the chase. And we know for a fact, pilot whales actively look for problems, since scientists in Norway played the sounds of orcas feeding, and that got their boat confronted by the pilot pack. It's even escalated to pilot whales imitating the calls of killer whales, and considering killer whales in different areas can have different dialects, pilot whales learn to lampoon the exact kind of orca in their neighborhood. Some say it's a form of ocean incognito, where they use sound to camouflage. But there's a world where pilots got so sick of the gimmicks they learned a language just to talk that cetacean shit. But it's not one-sided, as orcas will pack up and prey on pilot whales. There's also been more than one case of a group of orcas traveling with an orphan baby pilot whale, adopting it either as progeny or a practice dummy. My theory is that the trauma of losing a baby drives a mother orca to do the next best thing: kidnap an infant pilot whale and try to brute force parenthood. It's a conflict that still has a lot of questions, and this story might just have another chapter. Because what are the odds the orca's two biggest enemies are friends? Humpbacks prove you can always be a bigger hater, and there's no bigger hater than the one that interferes with orca hunts, even when the target isn't another humpback. In 5 decades of studying humpback orca spats, in only 11% of them did the killer whales actually go after them. The other 89 involved orcas plotting on a completely different animal and the humpbacks getting involved to play defense. In fact, in over 100 encounters, the humpbacks approached the orcas 37% of the time, and the orcas were the instigators 26%, meaning when scientists could tell who wanted smoke 58% of the time, the humpback mafia started it. Why? Well, maybe ask the pilot whales. Pilot whales and humpbacks have been seen socializing off Hawaii, with humpbacks even seeming to pet the pilots with their fins. They've even been caught communicating with each other. 2 completely different species. And it's not an accident. About 200 instances of whales and dolphins interacting were recorded across 19 different species, and what was found was
That's
that
just,
not only were a
look
third of
at
humpback
it,
encounters
look
classified
at
as
it.
positive, with the whales seeming to seek out the dolphins, humpbacks were way more dolphin tolerant than others, like the blue, fin, and northern white whales. And let's not just slide past the interspecies communication. That is wild, and who knows what they're saying. They could be plotting the most devious hit on an orca. There's no Rosetta Stone for that. Of course, that's a joke. One, because I don't believe they have their version of a white, pointy-robe pep rally to plot against an apex predator. But also, two, humpbacks aren't exactly immune to the habits of a pilot
Look at
whale.
him. Look at
According to
him.
the Latin American Journal of Aquatic Mammals, pilot whales often rage bait humpbacks, with short-fin pilot whales seen antagonizing the humpback variety off Puerto Rico, harassment that the whales were visibly stressed by. One sighting saw a gang of pilots approach a pod of humpback whales, with the humpbacks reacting by trumpeting and tail slapping, basically a cetacean crash out. One theory says the pilot whale is a kleptoparasite, whose meal prep involves harassing a humpback into stress regurgitating its last meal so the pilot can swoop in for the steal. Mind you, humpbacks in Puerto Rico probably haven't eaten since they were in the Arctic, so it's like picking a fight with a Muslim dead in the middle of Ramadan. In the Mona Passage off Puerto Rico, a bunch of pilot whales pulled up to harass a humpback pod, until the humpbacks dove underwater and resurfaced a distance away, until the pilots peeped them and went over to choose conflict again. This cycle continued like a game until the humpbacks eventually left the area, and chances are a game is exactly what was happening. Some genuinely believe that pilot whales mess with other whales for fun, not for food, simply love of the game. They're just being dicks. And humpbacks are the whales that tolerate them, but what they don't accept
sounds
is
about
anything
right.
orca. In 2012, a pod of orcas murked a gray whale calf, but the plot twist was the 14 humpbacks that rushed in to back up the 2 already on scene. And what scientists saw was the humpbacks gatekeeping the killer whales, with one even putting himself next to the past tense calf and wailing out anytime an orca got close. For 6.5 hours, the humpback hood calorie blocked the orcas, even ignoring an enticing swarm of nearby krill to remain to float on business. You see, orcas don't go after humpbacks often,
See,
but when they
I think this is why I don't like him. Like, I like the video, but I'm getting really cringed out by all this fucking terminology that he's saying. It's like, oh, I can't. I don't know. Like, just talk to me normal. Like, I get like he's saying it because people nowadays probably are like, I don't know, more invested when people talk like that. But it's like, just tell me the facts. I'm not an idiot. But maybe he's catering to the idiots. Like, saying that whales are meal prepping and gatekeeping and, like, just talk normal. Just talk
it's
normally.
usually targeting the calf with its mother, which usually involves separating them and reverse baptizing the baby. The thing is, adult humpbacks are much less fearful of a monochrome mammal and are triggered by the sounds of an orca hunt and will come swimming, especially since any young humpback in the area are likely a relative of their own. So they're on sound with orcas, even if the target ends up being a Pacific placemat, because the lesson every humpback learns is, no orca alive shall prosper. That's on pod. Mind you, not all killer whales are whale killers. Only about 10 to 15% of them are mammal-eating killer whales, meaning humpbacks might just be profiling. They see color, 2 in particular. But if humpbacks could see everything killer whales do, they'd probably let them slide a lot more. Humpbacks have more than a zebra to stress about. In 2017 in Mossel Bay, South Africa, scientists watched an injured whale get jumped by 8 great white sharks. It's not often, but great whites will pack up the young, sick, or injured, especially during migration. It's rare, but the chances aren't zero.
Yeah, bye,
Unless an
Gemma.
orca's around. That wasn't a joke
Have a
earlier.
good rest of your
Orcas
day.
legitimately give jaws PTSD, and it's scientifically proven that great whites will abandon even favorite hunting grounds for up to a year if they even sense a giant oppression dolphin once. In fact, the number of great whites has flatlined in many places off South Africa, like False Bay, so low that it's legitimately affecting tourism. And one of the biggest non-human reasons might be orcas. Two in particular. Since 2015, port and starboard have been raining hell on the whites, with many late great shark carcasses washing ashore with missing livers, including a 16-foot female named Khaleesi. These two orcas in arms have terrorized sharks.
I heard about this. They were hypothesizing that they were saying that like the orca is only eating the liver because the liver is the most nutritional part of the body, and that's just what they're going after. And then there was like something else as well. He might talk about it in the video, but yeah, I did hear about
Of
that.
any species. In 2023, the duo life deprived nearly 27 gill sharks in one day, and starboard might be the biggest menace. Fun fact, starboard is the first orca ever recorded murking a great white shark by himself after eviscerating one in less than 2 minutes completely solo. Port and starboard are named after how they tend to split the sharks they kill, left and right. That's not true, it's based on their fins. But for about a decade, these two have been violating sharks without remorse. Recourse as a final course to force soul divorce, not to beat a dead horse. But killer whales ironically do humpbacks a solid, as the South African rest stop of their migration now has way less sharks. But we've known that sharks tend to get their cookies taken by orcas. But great whites can also get sent packing by their own prey. It's well known that a sea lion to a shark is basically a chew toy, with one fur seal having no chance against a 16-foot, 2,000+ pound bioweapon. But this movie has an alternate ending, with gangs of fur seals mobbing hunting sharks. Imagine getting chased out of a drive-thru by a horde of homicidal hot dogs. That's this shark's reality. It's the same mob mentality humpbacks use on orcas, and fur seals will press a great white into retreating back to sea. This weaponized friendship has been clocked all the way back to 2005, with a group of adult male Australian fur seals jumping a great white shark that wandered too close to the colony's pups. But orcas might have just lit a fuse under the fur seals. The decline of great whites in places like False Bay may have honestly boosted the confidence of the seals. Not only do they now act way bolder, studies showed that the stress hormone levels of fur seals in False Bay went down as the shark numbers did. Orcas might take the seal out to sea and leave it with an L, but they might have also emboldened the fur seals against their biggest op. And few realize how horrific a family of fur seals open carrying confidence can be. Although they likely did need much, because apparently seals can't get along with each other. In many places, elephant and fur seals cross paths, and they do not get along. They're both pinnipeds, but technically fur seals aren't true seals. They're actually closer to sea lions. Elephant seals see all that and choose to be the world's biggest bigots about it, since some have a bad habit of using baby fur seals as chew toys. Buffle is a 14-foot migrant that annually shows up on Cape Town beaches, where he has a yearly tradition of using young false seals as stress balls for his mouth. One elephant seal was caught grabbing a pup, making a disturbingly literal baby shower, before swallowing it whole. Clearly fur seals have way more to worry about than just sharks, but sharks might not have a bigger enemy than dolphins. Dolphins don't exactly bully sharks. A study done in Shark Bay, Australia found that 74% of bottlenose dolphins were found with at least one scar from a shark attack, and more than a third of those in Sarasota Bay have had a chunk or two taken out of them. So the catch is, while dolphins are a small part of a shark's diet, almost every dolphin will have at least one bad memory of a shark. The dolphin default is actually to avoid sharks, so not exactly like pilot whales to orcas, but they will gang up on them when they have the advantage. Usually it's just for intimidation, but sometimes it involves dolphins ramming sharks in the gills so they choke on their own blood. So basically, sharks prey on dolphins and leave dolphins preying, with dolphins usually social distancing from them. But dolphins will also mob sharks, and in a lot of studies, dolphins were the ones initiating harassment, like in the form of using a baby shark as a volleyball. But it also helps that they have an alliance with another member of the cetacean persuasion, one that sends sharks swimming. Or at least it would if it wasn't a false killer whale. That is called a false killer whale, which sucks because it's way more than an imitation orca. Not to be confused with the pilot whale, because where the pilot whale looks like a black rough draft beluga, the not an orca looks like a free willy paralysis demon. On the surface,
Yeah,
that is
scary.
Satan's favorite cetacean creation, slender whale body built. They have no business looking like the black Air Force of orcas, and those
What the
eyes,
heck?
good God, those eyes. Those are the eyes of an ocean chain chomp that shouldn't be trusted. And that's why you don't judge a whale by its mugshot. False killer whales will often form relationships with other dolphins, especially bottlenoses. These bonds can last years and cover hundreds of ocean miles, especially in New Zealand, where falsies will actively seek out dolphins, not just to hunt together, but to play too. And scientists swear that individuals can recognize each other even after years of separation. In fact, false killer whales and dolphins will often merge pods to form a giant superpod, up to 1,000 strong. It goes deeper,
Wow.
with stories of falsies responding to the distress calls of other species, and even aiding other dolphins during childbirth.
So they're like
as
the
close as you think
police.
pseudo-orcas and
They're the
bottlenoses
police
are,
of the
they're
ocean.
closer. How close?
Look!
Well, when a male falsie and a female bottleface get close enough, the outcome is called a wolfin. It's also not just dolphins. Anyone who dives enough will confirm that false killer whales are one of the friendliest things you can run into in the ocean, and there's even stories of them offering fish to strangers. But of course, the world of whale politics is messy, and falsies don't have goodwill with everyone. They're also liable to get T-boned by an orca, who sometimes show them what a real killer looks like. And if you think that'd make them a friend to humpback whales, falsies have also been known to harass humpback whales, with one case in Hawaii where a group murked one. There's another animal they find conflict with, and you'd probably never guess it. Because respectfully, as the biggest predator on the planet, sperm whales have no business getting bullied by anyone. Yet, you can find reports of false killer whales running up on sperm whales the same way pilots do to orcas. Even back in the 90s, scientists somehow witnessed a group of sperm whales in the
They look
Galapagos
scary,
get ambushed by a
right?
gang of 25 falsies, joined by, interestingly, 15 bottlenose dolphins. I told you they were tight, but it was likely a bluff that didn't accomplish any real damage, which isn't always the case. There is one animal with the audacity to hunt modern-day Leviathan, but at this point it should be no surprise. Orcas are ocean Stan Lee. They pop up everywhere. They usually avoid each other, but a party of plus-size predators working as a wolf pack will target the young, sick, or isolated. But orcas predictably can get bold about it. Back in 1997, 35 killer whales attacked a pod of 9 sperm whales,
Wow.
resulting in a 4-hour onslaught that left every sperm whale injured and one dead. 20 years later, a pod of 8 killer whales ran up on a group of 100 sperm whales off Sri Lanka. That's not a typo. Nobody died, but the audacity was nearly fatal, especially since sperm whales, for whatever reason, don't really fight back. Their main defense is to get into a formation called a rosette, with the weak put in the middle. There's that, and serving a poop slushy at orcas, since real-life Mobies will also use a cloud of diarrhea as offensive self-defense. This bowel bath bomb is sometimes enough to save their lives, but it also means orcas have the ocean's biggest predators soiling themselves by the metric ton. But it seems there's one predator orcas won't hunt, and it's the most successful and most destructive one of it's us. You know it's us. Outside of a glorified fishbowl, orcas have never been known to kill a human, or at least never been caught doing it. In fact, not too long ago, there was a time where humans hunted alongside orcas, with the two working together in New South Wales, Australia. Basically, the orcas would herd the whales to shore and then alert the whalers with a tail slap, and the law of tongue meant the orcas were entitled to the lips and tongue of anything they helped you kill. Even today, a wild orca is less likely to feed on you than just feed you. For as long as we've known them, humans have been on the orca whitelist, and that might just be changing. You see, orcas are intelligent enough to have different cultures and trends. Like one orca wore a salmon as a hat and within a week had the whole pod doing it. And a recent orca trend involves sinking yachts. It started in 2020 with a pod ramming and eventually downing a 50-foot yacht off Gibraltar. Since then, there have been over 700, again not a typo, I checked, of these attacks, and most of the real damage was to the ship's rudders. Mind you, some of these attacks lasted over 2 hours, so it's really looking like humpback levels of hating. Also, while researching, I realized there's more than one case of killer whales failing a hunt, only to then target the boat of the researchers watching it happen out of spite. So what are the orcas cooking? I have my theories. One is that orcas are treating hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of vessels as toys, and all it would take is one orca messing with a boat for fun and telling his homies for a new trend to hit humanity. Or it could be revenge. All that would take is one orca having a bad experience with a boat for the whole family to slide, fueled by generational rage. Especially if it happened to a grandmother, cause you know the moment she brought it to the pod, it'd be up for everyone. In fact, chances are, they teach this same behavior to their young. There's a lot we still don't know about the ocean and all the nonsense that happens.
Interesting
in
how
it.
they don't
But
attack
one thing I'll
humans.
say every time
I think it's probably because they're intelligent. I think a lot of animals, they see something that looks like prey and they just go for it. Whereas like I feel like maybe they're intelligent enough to know that this is something that isn't in the ocean often and isn't something that they hunt often. So they probably have no need to hunt us because they're like you're not my prey. I'm not interested in you because you're not what I hunt. Whereas like you have like a lot of animals that are just like, oh, you look like what I hunt, so I'm gonna eat you. But I can probably guarantee that there has been probably maybe something not documented, but because maybe there was no one to document it, but I can guarantee someone has died in the wild to an orca. I mean, people die in captivity to orcas, so I have a feeling that there's a probability that even though he said that there's no one that has, I feel like in all our years on this planet, surely there would have been someone.
Speak on anything, Dolphin, is that animals aren't good. Animals aren't evil. They're just animals. Animals just trying to make it to the next day any way they can. It's not orca's fault, they're just that much better at it. Simply a skill issue for everyone else. I'm gonna keep saying it as long as there's people on Twitter saying I want them dead. So probably forever. But until then, drink water, hug your mother. If you see an orca, apologize. Doesn't matter what for, just do it. Support the whales, call your father, and I'ma see y'all in the next one.
There must have been some. Yeah, surely. There surely has to be. Here, let's look up like orca. Orca. I love orcas. I think I spoke about, you might have been in the stream when I was talking about it, about how I was writing up this whole list about orcas in captivity. And how we should, how they shouldn't be in captivity. What's this one?
Spreading out, they spy hop
David!
to search the ice flows.
It's David Attenborough. Orca school, yeah.
When a seal is spotted, the scouts alert the family with a rallying call.
The seal's aware.
But if they are to catch a seal resting on such a large piece of ice, the hunters need to change their tactics.
Crazy.
This
Beautiful,
time,
yeah.
they produce a subsurface wave.
Whoa.
It breaks the ice into smaller pieces,
It is sad to see.
but the seal still has
But it's like-
the raft
It's sad to see, but I guess this
and
is the
appears to be
reality.
protected from any oncoming wave. The matriarch whale, however, has a plan. Working in a coordinated way, the pod push the seal's ice platform into clearer water.
This guy looks kind of old, this seal. He looks pretty kind of old. Poor seal, yeah.
The matriarch now tries another
Orca
tactic
Space
which will
Program!
avoid injury.
No, don't call it that!
Blowing bubbles. They disorientate the towering seal. And the whales move in for the kill. Only about 100 killer whales in the world hunt using this technique. It's an ingenious solution to the problem of finding prey here in the most extreme frozen habitat on Earth.
Orca moments.
For sea lions to venture into deep water here is very dangerous indeed. It's much safer to stay in the shallows if they can.
Whoa. I'm surprised to see it didn't go flying.
In one or two places, channels enable the whales to get really close to the beach. Those are the danger spots.
Hi, Fadeless. Welcome. I was watching some videos. I'm not a fan of this one.
Killer whales make killing look easy. It isn't. The secret to their success is that they do everything together as a family. It takes a young killer whale 15 years or more to learn the complicated hunting techniques and other life skills from its mother.
Well, the video's going well, and yeah, I've been
These
good.
whales develop as slowly
Oh.
and live.
We can't watch this video. Fuck.
For sea
I'm getting a warning. Alright, let's keep looking. Have to hop off for a bit. Yeah, no problem. I'll probably only be on for like another 30 minutes. I was only gonna do 3 hours today, so yeah, not too much longer. But maybe we could do top 10 orca encounters. And hopefully I don't get the warning anymore.
We are in whale soup. There's one coming right under our boat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? That was unbelievable. Oh my god, I'm shaking.
Top 10, yeah. Oh god.
Oh my god, what are they doing?
Nothing. We're doing it. It's amazing. Holy, right at us.
Have you seen this old video before? This one? No. The warning's not going away.
Are you
I think we should be okay.
Oh shit.
See, when I, the crazy crazy nasty honey badger? No, I haven't. I haven't seen that. Ocean is beautiful but terrifies me at the same time. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna just go to the just chatting because I'm... Oh, it says excellent now. Okay, hold on. I think we're chill. Videos like this just make me so sad because this orca is traveling so fast and so far, jumping in the water, like having fun in the waves. Like, that is what they should be doing, and then when you see them in captivity, it's just like, it's so freaking sad. It's so freaking sad.
They want our bait.
Like, look.
He's still staying with us. They're hauling ass, dude.
He's called a killer dolphin? The big body, I know. Like, and you can probably say they're not even going like their full speed, and that boat's going pretty fast. Look at him. Wow. Oh my goodness.
See, impossible to keep a dry lens.
Look at all those birds too, Jesus.
I have never ever seen anything like this. Wow! Oh my God!
Ooh.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh, look at him! What a sweetheart! Oh my God! Oh my God! Hold on, babe. Hold on to the boat. Hold on to the boat, sweetie. He's going right under us. Oh my God! Hold on.
What
Hold
is
on
he
to the boat, babe.
doing?
Oh my God!
What a silly
Oh my
goober.
God. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Aw, she's so cute. Yeah. Oh. What? Hold on a second. What is happening? Is my stream still up? Ah, for fuck's sake. That's the downside, I guess, huh?